In this module, we will have a look at creating and using activities. I'll concentrate on showing you activities against a contact, but the same principle applies if you wish to add an activity against a policy or quote. Now I'm on the Contacts tab and I'll drill into a recently used contact, and immediately I am on the Activities tab, and there are a number of activities that have already been created. I wish to record an activity that records the conversation I had with the client when I called regarding their renewal. So I'll create a new record, and in this case the type is going to be a call outbound because I phoned the client, and this in the summary I'm going to say that it was call regarding their renewal and put the policy number in. I can then add more text if I like to the description. So what this has done is said that on that date and that time I called the client regarding this item, and further notes. This will then nicely replace your day book so that you can record any conversation with your client both when they call you and when you call them. So if I add another item, and I'll say that this time it was a call inbound and the client confirmed sums insured. So then you can put a further description in. I would also like to record an email that I sent to the client, so new, and we'll then say that it's email outbound and what it was regarding. Now I can drill into that activity, and I'm immediately on the Attachments tab, and I can now attach the email to that activity. So I've only got one place to look. I go to the contact and I see all the activities, all the things I've done with that client, including emails that I've sent. Now to bring in that email that I have in Outlook, please refer to the Attachments module for steps on how to bring in Outlook email messages. In addition, I can then link this activity with a particular policy or quote record. So if I click onto the pop-up button for policy quote and type in what the policy number is that I was referring to, I then see all the records that relate to that policy number, and it's in relation to this first one, which was a new business that was billed only. Now what that means then is that when I go to that particular policy and invoice number, I will then see the activity as well. Now I'll come back to the link at the top left hand corner and come back into activities. Now another use for activities is to store scanned documents. Again, I'll click onto new, and I'll say in this case that it's filing that I'm doing on Finesse. And once again I can put in what the policy number is that it relates to. I can then drill into that activity, and once again under Attachments create a new file where I can pick up the file that I have scanned in or any letter that I've saved that I've sent to the client, and it immediately attaches that. You can drill into that at any stage and read the contents of that item. Another option we now have in Finesse version 5 is the ability to see attachments across all policies for that particular contact. So I'm into the contact record. If I click on policy attachments, I then can see every attachment against every invoice where this person is the primary contact. You can then use your query button to isolate the records that you're interested in viewing. This means then that you don't have to go through to policies and quotes and drill into each invoice to find the attachment that you specifically are after.